talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. This is episode 136. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. Guys, were you able to watch that video clip there without it lagging or anything? I mean, on my end, it was like completely just lagging like hell. But I don't know. For you guys, was it okay?
It was good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good for me. So I'm guessing it was the typical little thing with Restream where it'll lag for you, but not for everyone else.
Right.
That's not to say I haven't seen those videos lag before. So, it's a mixed bag with Restream.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, we got a great show for you for episode 136. We're going to be talking about a lot of the games that were at these showcases that we had this whole past week. So we're going to be showing you some of those and talking about them. And our topic of the show, we're going to be talking about Starfield. Did it meet your expectations from the Starfield Direct? We're going to be talking about Starfield a lot in the topic of the show. And of course, our picks of the week for the week of June 19th through the 25th. And of course, a lot of stuff is coming to Game Pass. We're going to be talking about Game Pass as well when we get to the Xbox Game Showcase, as well as the Game Pass games for June. So, a lot of cool stuff coming. And we're going to be talking in a moment here about the games that we've been playing this past week. But before that, for all of you video viewers, here is a brief word, and for you audio listeners as well, of a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they've been playing, this episode of The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast's ad-free version in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry Tier 1 level at $1 per month, and get every episode including exclusive ad-free post-show content in video format when recorded, please visit patreon.com/TheArenaProductions for further details. The audio version of the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in the video version will be on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, the Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Productions, where you can join and chat with the Arena Productions community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
All right, guys, let's talk about the games that we've been playing. So Burley and I, we're still playing Diablo 4. So, and I'm going to show some of the gameplay as we talk about the game from Burley's gameplay that we did for our extra take episode. So this is Burley's character here. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up for all of you video viewers. I'm like level 20 now or something like that.
Nice.
So I mean, I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'm playing as the barbarian. It's fun. Burley, how about you? How is your gameplay experience so far?
That's going good. I haven't gotten as much time into this as I'd like. I'm around level 10. Like 9 or 10. I can't remember where I left off, but it is a lot. It is a lot of fun. They really have, for the most part, learned what did not work from Diablo 3, and kind of taken it out and just kind of made this more streamlined, more fun. And you're building your character the way you want them to be. I still
for those,
wish,
before you go on, for those who did not play Diablo 3, what is it that they improved upon? That was in Diablo 3 that was improved.
Okay, yeah. One thing is the whole skill point system.
Okay.
In Diablo 3, you just kept getting skills as you leveled up.
Okay.
So, like, I was playing the Witch Doctor class, and because that was close to the Necromancer class, because that was my favorite in Diablo 2. So it was just like I would get skills that I wouldn't necessarily want to use because I'm more about summoning my army of the dead and all that to just fight for me. So it's like, you're getting these blow dart skills. And it's like, I really don't want to sit there and be clicking that when I'm more caring about getting my undead army and just unleashing them and having all hell breaking loose. This, like, as we see in the footage, like, you're putting skill points. You're not only just putting them in the base skill, you're putting them in to add different effects. So like, this one reduces the cooldown. Let me max this out. Okay, this one increases the stun time. So you're building it the way you want. I do miss the stat points, but all your stat points just go up per level, every level. So
yeah, it's fun to play. So and as I was saying earlier when we did the extra take, I mean, a lot of the characters in this game, they have an Eastern European accent. So I'm thinking that there was a lot, and especially this game deals with religious themes. So I'm thinking that this was inspired by Eastern European culture a lot in the beginning stages, at least. Maybe it changes later on in the game. I'm not sure, but so far a lot of the character voice acting has an Eastern European type of accent to it, to each character. So, all right, okay, Carl, you're up next. So you were playing a demo, and what demo was that?
Yeah, Liza P, which they actually announced that they had 1 million plus downloads on this, so that's pretty great for them. They're getting a lot of attention on this. I mean, visually, this game is beautiful. I really like what they're doing with the setting and the style of it. There's good animations as well. It is, I mean, it's a Souls game for sure. I've never played Bloodborne, but I assume this is more like Bloodborne.
Okay.
Because I have tried Demon Souls. I played a good bit of that, and I've tried a little bit of Dark Souls, the first one. And this feels much better than those. And then those are old ones, so I would hope, of course, it would, right? But like, it's much quicker, it's more fluid. Blocking feels better and dodging feels better. Like I feel like I can time it very well if I wanted to learn to play this really well, and if I watch enemies, movements, I can block and I can dodge very well.
Right.
That's the kind of thing, like, why I don't particularly like these games, and why, I did enjoy what I played of this, but I don't think I'm gonna really play a ton of it. And it'll be on Game Pass, so maybe I'll try more of it. But because it's very much like you got to be on point when you're playing this game, right?
Of course,
And that's not what I want to do a lot of times when I'm playing video games. Like, I kind of want to relax.
Right.
And I want to be able to pause, and you can't pause this game.
You don't mean you want to be high alert, high vigilant every second.
Pretty much how Souls games are, Carl.
Like, that's the thing. Like, that does deter me from playing games like this. But
now,
what is the?
I just wanted to say, Carl, sorry to interrupt, but I mean, like, what is the story premise of this? I mean, does it revolve around the story of Pinocchio or something like that?
There's tons of Pinocchio stuff, like lore references, right? I don't know exactly what's happening, but so, like, you start off, like, you get awakened by the blue fairy, basically. Like, it's sort of like it looks like a blue butterfly-ish thing that flies into you and sort of awakens you and tells you need to go do something, and calls you to this great hotel place, right? And eventually you get there. That's after, like, the first boss. That's sort of like the introductory part of the game.
Yeah.
And then you meet this woman who is, I guess, the sort of equivalent of the Blue Fairy.
Okay.
And I don't know, she's tells you something's going on with the world, and like Geppetto is out there or something. You have to go find him.
Okay.
And you have a version of like Jiminy Cricket, like in a little jar, right? He's
Okay.
on. You can see him probably on the belt there on the character that's hanging on the belt. There's like a jar, and it lights up.
Yeah.
And you can use it to light up dark areas. And it speaks. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's like actually a living creature or because the whole world is full of like automaton, like machines, and they talk about it how like they're puppets, right? Like someone built them, but you're
it was interesting there how he has like one arm is normal and then one arm is like a mechanical arm, and he's like sharpening his blade with that mechanical arm.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I like that mechanic. So like your weapons degrade and they take damage, and I guess they can break, but I think like if they break, that's sort of on you because you can actively just sharpen them and restore their durability at any time.
Right.
I assume there'll be factors in maybe certain weapons that maybe take more damage and enemies that maybe damage your weapons more, and you'll have to actually actively do it during battle. But like during a fight, like you generally don't need to do that, but you could in the middle of a battle sharpen your weapon. You know, so who knows? You can there's like I wanted to beat the boss. I bought like the item that gave you like electricity power to your blade, so like you can do the sharpen thing and like give your power, like an electric effect on your blade.
Nice.
And do extra damage. I don't know if that enemy is supposed to be weak against it, and that's why I was able to beat him with it so well. But the thing with these games is there's too much mystery to them. Like I think it's enjoyable. I like the stuff, but like I would like to be told more specifically like what the stats mean. Like why do I want to increase one stat over another? Why the whole deal with the weapons having like this weapon is like a C grade in motility or whatever stat. I'm like, I don't understand all that because I'm not versed in this world, these type of games.
Yeah.
So, come on, you don't want to look around for all the pages on the floor to get the story, even though it should be in the game. And
this game does have a bit of story. Like there are some characters. When you get to the Crate Hotel, that's sort of your hub, and there's automatons that speak to you, like the butler guy, and then there's someone there who's like who like makes weapons and stuff, or can upgrade your weapons and gear.
Yeah.
It's
some
cool.
creepy bosses, man.
It's a cool game, I like it. So your arm, so you have your sword, right? And you can have two different ones equipped at the same time and swap between them.
Okay.
So you can have different style. I only use the one, the balanced one. Then there's the quick one, and there's the two-hand, the sort of heavy one, right?
Yeah.
Well, here he's got something completely different in some of the videos. So I'm sure there's all kinds of interesting weapons. But then you have your arm, your special arm, and that you can add different things to. So it starts off with nothing, but then you can add on this like hook shot thing, which you can shoot enemies and pull them to you.
Okay.
Which is good because when there's enemies that have like ranged attacks that are shooting you from across, like they can really mess you up. Like you're just walking, all of a sudden you get shot. You're like, fucking hell, man! Like, it's a Souls game. Like, enemies will be positioned around corners. Like every time I walk into an area, I'm like creeping, like blocking, looking around the corners. I'm like, I know someone's gonna jump out.
So this looks like Geppetto's lab here, where you can like customize or like.
This is the Crate Hotel, and so you get different costumes. Like, I got one during the game that was from what I played, and it was they look good. I like it. I think this game's gonna be a big hit.
Yeah, especially with the Souls players and everything. Yeah, should be. Really
this game has. I've heard so much good word of mouth. This game is gonna get when it does come out. I think it's September, isn't it? It's not gonna get lost.
And it's coming to Game Pass, right? Right, Carl? Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
yeah. So perfect stuff.
Yeah,
right. Good stuff.
Before we move on, Burley, didn't you play the Final Fantasy 16 demo?
Yes, I did.
I did that.
Oh yeah, that is a lot of fun. Honestly, like the combat in it is a lot of fun. Like I was weary a little just because it is like this is going more and more action based than 7 Remake and Final Fantasy 15, but it flows so well. The dodge mechanic and you can press circle to home in strike kind of thing, and you can do that with both your melee attacks and your magic. And then once you beat the normal little demo story, you have this other mode that gives you a little bit further in the game, and you have more abilities. And you can, because the nice thing is, you do as you fight as you unlock these icon abilities and more of the icons, you can switch and they change up your styles. So different combinations, different magic, and all this and that. So it is a lot of fun. So it's not going to just be okay, I'm going to mash square, 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 square. Just keep mashing square. No, you're going to be changing up your button prompts and what you're doing. And it runs so well. And it's one of those nice things of you play the demo, you can understand why people are really like myself that are really hyped for the game. And the nice thing of you keep the demo and the data on your hard drive. When you buy the game, you get a bunch of stuff coming in.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of gameplay from the demo. People showing off like crazy combos and stuff. Like that's my like fear of this game. Like, do you have to like do combo like button combos like like XX square X something or whatever, or is it like you're just like sort of putting together, straining together different abilities to make it
so many different combinations. Yeah.
And if you aren't doing that, is that a problem?
Well, you can do fights with just the basic attacks, just basic hitting square and whip. But your abilities, you have your 4 face buttons that are your normal abilities. Then you hold R2 and you get your special abilities. So it'll be R2 square does this, R2 triangle does this special move, and you can combo them together. And the nice thing is like. Magic, you don't have an MP. From what I've played, you don't actually have MP, so it is a little weird thing. But they want you to use the magic to get the different combos and different stuff, and you can buy the ability to hold and charge, so you can go from fire to fire up.
Okay. Did you ever die in combat?
I only died once. Or no, I didn't die. I was close. But the potion saved me. But they've changed up the potions, actually. Instead of them healing you like 500 for the base potion, for example, it's percentage. So they're going like the Tales of series where the gels, which it works fine by me. I did come close to
percentages too,
yeah. And the summon battles, because you do one in there, those things are epic and fun. It's just like it's basically playing like a Godzilla kaiju fight.
Let us know. Well, let us know in the comments if you played Liza P or if you have played the Final Fantasy 16 demo. We'd really like to hear from you and hear your opinions on them. So, good stuff. All right. So next up, guys, let's talk about a lot of these games that came to these showcases, and of course, for all of you video viewers. In the ticker below, I'll show you the links to where you can go and see all of the games and all of the trailers that were showed at these showcases if you missed them. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. And first up, obviously, as you guys know, I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. And obviously, at the Ubisoft Forward, of course, we got some more gameplay of Assassin's Creed Mirage. And it's starting to give me, early Assassin's Creed game vibes, and how they're bringing back a lot of the stealth elements to this game. And I love how they're, showing off Baghdad here and everything. And it's really giving me the impression of, seeing and playing the first game with Altair in Istanbul. It was really fun. And Burley, you were talking about some of the combat mechanics as well. Do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah. First, I want to agree with you. Yeah, this is channeling Assassin's Creed 1 vibes, and I mean that in a good way, because this with the Ubisoft showing of this really has me interested and made me pre-order the game.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like it made me, because after Valhalla, I was like, okay, I'm done with the series again.
Yeah.
And it's like, this has dragged me in. Like later on, you're gonna see where Basim is in a fortress there, and he's trying to figure out his moves, and he's picking out, doing these little things like picking these guys 1, 2, 3.
Now
And
I have
he
to say,
then does the chain assassination.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
That was so cool.
I have to say though, there here the hidden one's hideout here looks a lot like the one in Origins. So I'm wondering if they like kind of copied and pasted some of that.
Oh, it's
But,
Ubisoft. Of course they did.
Oh yeah. So, but
Could have reused and changed assets. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So, but
it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal, but yeah. So, yeah. I mean, like you were saying, bro, this game is not going to be like Valhalla. It's not going to be like a 200+ hour game. It's probably about 20 hours. You can probably beat it earlier than that, but quicker than that, I should say. But
I think they said it's like 10 to 15 hours. And
Yeah.
like I had some negatives originally, because this was originally supposed to just be standalone DLC for Valhalla. So that would have been like $29 or $30.
Right.
But they're putting it up to like $50 here. But from what they're showing here and later on in this, it looks so good. And it's like, okay, they're putting effort. They're really doing some cool stuff. You're getting the tools. You're going back to the style of Assassin's Creed I like, where you can actually assassinate people, not this. I am a power of 120. You're a power of 118. Bow down to me, peasant.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. What I love about this is that it's like, all right, let's go back to the basics, right? And we'll hit like that sort of setting tone, right, of Assassin's Creed 1. But we're going to bring all of the modern trimmings from all of the sort of like traditional classic style Assassin's Creed, right? Because you got all the cool like gadgets and like extra things that you could do that were added over the time of the franchise.
Yeah.
Going through up to Unity, and I'm sure maybe stuff from Syndicate, and then even this part here with the
eagle
bird,
eye, the
eagle that came from Origins.
Yeah.
And I love them. See what they added there, like right there is such a cool idea of like, okay, I'm going to use the bird to check everything out. Oh no, there's marksmen, and they're going to shoot down my bird, which is like, yeah, that's great. This is like another, and so I have to go inside and I have to take out that marksman so I can then scout out the area with my bird. I mean,
yeah, and you really didn't have that in the previous games where they would try to shoot the eagle. Yeah, so,
that's a new thing completely.
That's a new thing.
It's taking that something that the advancement that they added and then making it. I mean, adding another gamification of it that I think is really cool for the stealth assassin aspect that is really kind of missing now in the new games. Like you can do it, but like it just doesn't feel as good because again, like enemies have stats, right? Like, if they're a higher level, I can't assassinate this guy because he's a higher level. Like, it's not what I want to play. I get like
and here is like just the traditional stealth elements to Assassin's Creed here, going through the bush,
all the distraction stuff too. The sleep darts or poison darts or whatever, like all that stuff that was added. As you went on,
or whistling or something like that.
Yeah, I miss it, man. I miss it so much. I really enjoyed Unity a lot. That was a really cool game. But of course, Black Flag added a lot of that stuff too. But then it added the extra element of the sort of Sid Meier's Pirates game to it. So like this is getting back to let's just hit that core style and refine it to modern day.
Yeah.
And you said like obviously the Assassin's Creed 1 vibes, and they're like, yeah, we know, and we put in like the old like was it like weird tone, like a sort of like desaturated tone option.
Yeah,
I was like, that's neat. I like that, even though like that was a criticism people had.
This looks like one of the assassination missions here.
I just wanted to make mention. Unfortunately, I had to go on our YouTube page exactly. Our chats are not showing up here in Restream. So, Tweel, thank you for coming on in. And he was saying he's played the 16 demo, did not care for the first half. Not a fan starting a game in a big battle and doing time jump, but did enjoy the demo. And I decided isn't day one for me instead. Started Persona 4 Golden.
Yes.
and didn't
nice
do the
job.
other fights after beating the demo. That helps showing off the battle. Sorry about that, Will.
Yeah. And
Enjoy
thanks for
that
coming on
Persona
in,
4,
Wheel.
man.
So appreciate it. So
Persona 4 Golden's great, man. You're gonna love it.
yeah. So more of
Setting
the
up that
assassination
trap mine.
mechanic here. Yep. The trap mines. Yep.
Yeah, I hear they're gonna show off that new mechanic.
Well,
Or
they
did
just
do
showed it
already?
off.
You did it already?
They
Okay.
just did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm curious what exactly is happening there because it seems like he's teleporting around, but I want to know like sort of the in-game explanation for how that works.
I do like that the throwing knives are back. When you do an assassinate, you do have that option, throwing knife to assassinate. So I do love that. And in this, they're not just showing you, you're just going in combat and killing. You're doing different stuff, using stealth, using your different, I don't want to say gadgets, but you know what I mean. Your different gear to help you get through this.
That's what I love about it. I wonder, so that right there when he ran by those guys and he threw the red dust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder the camera angle that they did, that sort of cinematic thing. Does that happen when you're playing? Because that's really cool. I like that a lot.
It must be.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be for dramatic effect in this trailer, but
Yeah.
you also see a moment there where he blocks an attack, and then it says there's the prompt for him to do a kill, and I'm like, yep, block, stab, dead. I'm like, thank you. That's what I like in my Assassin's Creed games.
Yep. October 12th. So October is stacked, guys. So yeah, another Assassin's Creed game. Yeah. So okay, Burley, this one's on you. Avowed. So what did you like about this one?
Oh, this one, because this was like the first real big showing we've had for Avowed that I've seen, and I loved it. Like, because I love Obsidian's games. Like, I loved the Outer Worlds, and them doing their own Elder Scrolls. Sign me up. Just like I love. Like, I know some people were not as happy with the graphical style and how some of the details look, but I think this looked just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, watching this again, I don't know why you would be critical of the visuals. This looks great.
This bear enemy with the mushrooms growing out, it's so cool.
Yeah, like I don't know.
It's cordyceps, Burley.
No.
What do people want? Do they want
spider.
like? Are they people? I feel people are just like so spoiled. They want like everything to look like I don't know.
Everything
Last of Us
in
2,
8K.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Horizon Forbidden West. Like everything has to look like your highest possible budget visuals. Like, newsflash, people, this isn't a $200 million video game. Okay, I'm sorry, and it's not made by a team that had like thousands of people touching it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it looks fucking great, man. Like visual style is really nice. I love the way the magic looks. The combat looks like weighty. Yeah, I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's very the color palettes in it too. It's very, very pretty. So
it is very colorful, like a little more than I expected.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a game you're gonna like. I know I'm easily gonna, as long as it lives up and it actually plays and runs well.
Yep.
I'm gonna easily sink 50 to 60 hours easy.
All right, the next one. Burley, this is another one that you chose, a Clockwork Revolution that was at the Xbox Game Showcase. And of course, if you want to check out the all of the games that were shown at the Xbox Game Showcase, the link is below there. So yeah, Burley is kind of like a futuristic look to this as well.
Oh yeah, and the whole steampunk aesthetic. This I just remember from when we were watching this live and we were doing the event. And we were just all of us were just impressed by this, and we're like, "Oh, what? This is happening? What?
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, look, and there looked like there were some time travel elements in it as well.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. They talk about that in some interviews and stuff, and they mentioned it in the trailer, of course. But there is an aspect of that, like changing time somehow.
Yeah.
My excitement for this game, a lot of it comes from like. I played Wasteland 3, and I know what In Exile is capable of.
Yeah.
And, you're going to be in for great story, interesting characters, great world building.
Yes.
And great RPG elements, like crafting your specific, build, right, of your character. You're gonna have all that stuff in there. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and look at these weapons.
Yeah.
They're interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the steampunk aesthetic for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. Maybe because we've seen a lot of this here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know why.
The futuristic time part of this game looks pretty interesting, though. And then, of course, you get these, these bot bosses or whatever they are here too. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I expect that to be awesome for sure.
Yeah. Coming in due time. I liked when they showed that. Yeah. All right, next up, Phantom Liberty, guys. And obviously there were some people that were a little disgruntled about the price of this. But, I mean, those of you out there that played, Cyberpunk 2077 and really enjoyed it, I mean, this is probably going to be a really cool DLC. And, of course, Idris Elba is going to be in it as well. And obviously, during the showcase, having, Keanu come out and present this was really cool. So, yeah, it was like we got Nicolas Cage during the, the Summer Game Fest. And then, of course, we get Keanu back for the Xbox showcase here. So, So, good stuff. Yeah. Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see that they're still going with this with the Phantom Liberty, and from when we do get to it in a few, I think in like the next 10 seconds or whatever it is, it does look good. My question is just, how is this DLC going to do? Because this is coming 20 days after Starfield launches.
Yeah.
That's and remember, Cyberpunk was very divisive. So it's like this DLC's got to come out well. It can't come out lukewarm for it to be a success.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a success. I think it's going to come out in a good state because all the buzz around it, the people who played stuff of it, like everybody's saying really good things about it.
Yeah, well, especially the people that have sunk over 100 hours into Cyberpunk. I mean, obviously they're going to go back and play this DLC, I think. So, I think it's going to be successful as well. But as Burley was saying, I mean, Starfield is just going to blow this away. I mean, but
I mean, you said 20 days. I mean, there's a decent amount of padding. I mean, like a lot of people won't be done with Starfield, but there are people who have a lot of time to play a lot of games, and they can bounce back, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this DLC is good. Like I really do, because I am interested, but I still got to go back to Cyberpunk, finish it, and then because I think they said you want to finish the base story of Cyberpunk before going to this DLC.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Yeah, or be at a specific point in the story. I think.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had to finish it, but probably you have to be quite a bit along in it. So. Yeah. Nice character builds there. Very pretty. Yeah. Good stuff. What did you like the most about Cyberpunk when you did play it, Carl?
I would say the writing, the story that they tell you is really interesting. There's a lot of cool things. I would recommend if you're going to play, you want to go through the entire Johnny Silverhand sort of storyline.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of it's optional. You don't have to do all of it, and it's really worth it.
Cool. Yeah. So September 26th, and of course, Carl, this one was one that you really liked from the Xbox Game Showcase. Fable,
man. I've been waiting to see what this looks like. The Fable franchise is something that I loved back in the day, but now it's been so long, it feels a bit dated. But now, like looking at this, see the visuals like really surprised me, especially this shot right here, right with that bit of action. There are there's been people who worked on this, like who've made comments on Twitter and social media places saying like, oh, I'm happy to see like that someone who worked on that is like, oh, that bit that I did in combat, animations, like in the trailer. There's people are like doubting it looks this good when you play it.
Yeah.
But they seem to be saying this is it. This is what it looks like.
They're saying gameplay in engine footage.
Yeah. Yep. They said in-game on it, which I mean, they're not saying, I don't know if that means in engine also, but I don't think so, because I think that means more like this is the game running versus something we created in engine. It's just they're just a stylized, like, all right, we're taking this bit. We're not like showing you actual gameplay, of course.
I mean, it's just so vague though, man. It's like in-game footage in engine.
It is,
I mean,
right.
Just say this is gameplay.
So like that shot there, that shot here. Some of these shots here like do look like shots from gameplay. Like they might be moments like sort of cinematic-ish moments, like where you're not in control anymore for a second. Or you're just running through sort of when something crazy is happening around you. Like I can see the sort of giant aspect there. Yeah, man. And the Digital Foundry sort of went over it, and they all were very convinced that like this is some sort of in-game footage. Like they weren't saying like this is cinematic. So
all right. Next up, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which we got at the Summer Game Fest. So Burley, what do you think of this one?
I like this. Like we knew this was coming, because this was one of the things that like leaked earlier, and like I remember Jeff Keighley comes out, we got this one more surprise and all that, and it's like we all know what it is. But now this, you just I guess you stayed off social media and stuff.
I don't think it got that far, like days before. Maybe it was this. I don't know. Anyway,
but this looks good. As a huge fan of the original Final Fantasy VII, and I loved 7 Remake. Nice to finally be out of Midgar and be getting out and more in the world.
I mean, this is just me and my pet peeve about the Final Fantasy series in general, but I mean that blade. I mean, come on.
Oh, the Buster Sword.
The Buster Sword. I mean, it's like, I mean, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, nobody in the right mind would be swinging something that big and heavy around. But anyway, that's just me. That's a pet peeve.
Yeah, that's just the JRPG trope.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an anime thing, really. But
right.
And then you get this pivotal scene. If you've played the original, you know what they're going for here.
Yeah.
So it's been so long, I don't even remember.
This is when they're in the hotel after getting out of Midgar, and Cloud gives the backstory of Sephiroth.
Okay. Yeah. See why I'm so disappointed with this not being just basically retelling the original story is because like I don't remember it that well, and I want to experience it again in this type of the modern visuals, right? Yeah. And I'm not getting that, so that's still just depressing.
Yeah, I get that. I would prefer to, in all honesty, to get the original story again.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're going to change stuff up. Like the combat here looks good. And now we've got Red 13 being playable in this game, so I can't wait to actually play him, because you get him so late in the first remake, you can't play as him. I don't even think you can change his gear or anything. So it's like,
So they got team up attacks. That's new.
Yeah. Yuffie?
I know I'm like not gonna like the gameplay, so I'm not gonna play this game. Sadly.
Did you play the first remake?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I hated that last chapter. I thought that was just god awful.
I can understand on that.
Yeah. In terms of story and in terms of gameplay, because it was like just super repetitive. Just like go forward, fight this boss. Go forward, fight a different version of the boss. Again, different version of the boss. And then you fight, the main thing. But it's not for me, the gameplay. So and it's not the same story anymore. So I'm not really I'm not that deep into the greater lore of Final Fantasy VII that I care about alternate universes.
Well, I'm going to tell you a game now that I'm into, and it's this one here. I'm really looking forward to this Hellblade 2. But I have to say, though, during the game showcase, I was expecting more from this. I was hoping to get more combat elements like they were just showing there from a previous showcase. And, of course, this is the actress that plays Senua. And, yeah, I mean, yes, the cinematics and everything just look beautiful. And obviously this trailer, of course, she's in some kind of cave and, she's crawling her way through it. And then she hears all these voices again, like she was hearing in the first game. And that's all. I mean, we didn't really get much else from it. And that kind of leaves me wondering, how far along is this game in development? What I've seen is amazing, obviously, but I mean, I don't know, how far along is it, and why did they only show something like this instead of some more combat elements to the game? I don't know. Carl, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is next year, so they got to be pretty far along. This is clearly this is just gameplay, right? But again, it's not showing you anything interesting in gameplay. It's giving you story and tone setting, which we already got. I really feel this trailer was a mistake. It doesn't make the game look worse. It just it gives me nothing more than I've already seen, and it actually gives me less than I've already seen.
Yeah, it's like the psychological mindset of Senua. I mean, but we know about that already from the first game. So that's why I was like, show us more. Show us something different.
Yeah, because this goes on for long enough. I'm watching this thing and I'm like, all right, you're gonna cut to some action, right? And we're gonna see a little of her doing something in the game. And like, nope.
Yeah. It's like, why is she there? I mean, why is she in this cave? I mean, that's what I couldn't understand,
Yeah,
So.
I mean, look, it's probably gonna be one of the most visually impressive video games ever made. But
yeah,
again, I play video games. I don't just watch video games, right? So
yeah,
but I need to know more of what I'm doing. Is it more of just the same in the first game? I highly doubt that. I feel like it'll be expanded in scope in some way, but again, we don't know at this point.
And the first game's combat was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but
yeah, it was good. It was just there wasn't any real depth to it, but it felt good. And it was interesting enough for what they gave you.
Yeah.
As someone that's not played the first one, this trailer, it was neat, but this doesn't sell me on the game. If they would have showed gameplay of me actually doing combat, even if it was only a minute of combat, I think it would have helped and float this better. Because this was this is cool visual wise, and she's hearing all these voices in her head and all that. But this kind of went on way too long for me to being okay, this started off cool. It's okay, are we gonna can we go back to Fable? Can we go to something else here?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
because even Fable didn't show you straight up gameplay, but at least it showed you action elements that give you an idea of what the game might
casting
have.
The fireball, slashing with the sword. Yeah,
right. And even the sequence with the giant sort of it seems like a sort of actiony escape sequence, right?
Yeah, well, something more than we had ever seen before. I mean,
but in this, the previous trailer for this, we saw that great scene with the giant, right, and them attacking it and then having to run away and all that, and that was gameplay. That was more gameplay than we got here. So I don't know why.
Yeah,
weird to go backwards.
Yeah. I still have high hopes for this game, though. I mean,
yeah, I don't have doubts. I'm sure it'll be great.
It's going to be great. Yeah. I just, I was a little disappointed with this particular trailer. The hands on the head and all and stuff. So, yeah, but this one, I really love this one. This is great. And we got some more news this last week. Late last week, the Ryuga Gotoku Summit came, and they had a lot of the actors and the producers come on stage and talk. And so they talked first about the game, the Gaiden game, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and that's going to be coming out on November 9th. So, and Kiryu's name is basically being changed to Joryu, which is interesting. So we're going to find out more about that. And they showed another trailer for the next game in the franchise here, Infinite Wealth, which we see the trailer for here, and kind of the comedic elements to it. And they said during the summit that this trailer storyline here from the trailer that they showed is has a lot of impact, and it's going to be a major story plot line. So basically, he is in the United States. He is in Hawaii in this scene here. So yeah,
I watched that RGG summit.
Yeah,
dude, what a waste of time, man. I'm happy that I wasn't like. I'm happy that I wasn't actually like like I had it on my phone and I was listening to it and I was playing State of Decay 2 because, dude, it's just way too much in an interview, just talking to the actors, just sort of like talking.
Yeah,
about,
that's
like,
Japanese style, though, Carl. That's Japanese style.
Look,
yeah.
Yes, but you're supposed to be talking about interesting aspects of the video game, and they're just like, why did you take this role? Or, what would you think about this? And I'm like, I don't know, like the legacy of being this thing and that thing. I'm like, dude, I don't care. It's not interesting enough. Maybe if I'm like, I don't know, if I'm like a super fan of all of this stuff, I might find that interesting. And then they get to the Infinite Wealth part, and man, they show a sequence of the game which is just Ichiban talking to
with Kiryu. Yes,
was it Kiryu, but he didn't look like Kiryu.
Yeah,
because his hair.
Kiryu's much older now, so
yeah. I was like, this isn't interesting. I wanted to see gameplay. I thought I was going to get gameplay, and I got nothing like that. It was very disappointing.
Yeah,
they better have Ichiban's theme in the next game. In this game.
Okay, well here's one that probably didn't disappoint Carl.
Yes.
So yes.
Metaphor Re
Fantasio, yes. So yeah,
this was something that they talked about a long time ago, many years ago. Right? It was called Project Re Fantasy, and now we've finally seen it. And man, I think this looks incredible. The style, the art, and the world, and the designs. Right. I first for a while I've been combing through this trailer here, looking at like pausing frames to see some of the stuff that's written there in the combat and in the menus. And for a minute, I was thinking, like, is this sort of maybe in that Shin Megami Tensei sort of world? But I don't think it is at all. I think it's sort of its own original thing, because there's a lot of stuff that is like much more fantasy element that doesn't, like, Persona, all that stuff sort of takes place outside the real world. And I guess, it's not necessarily like Persona stuff, but or demons or whatever version of it is, but there is something of that aspect. Like they have something, like right there, you actually see that shot. I don't know if it's like it's an armor, right? A mech or some sort of physical representation of something in the world that you're summoning, right? That seems to be part of it, but I don't know what it is. I mean, at one point you're like riding on a sword, like it's like a hoverboard. So like, this is a hard fantasy world versus like Persona's, like that's in the real world, and then there's like a separate world that has all these other elements. Yeah, this seems like I think everything is happening in the real world of this game, right? Like the monsters and everything are like actual creatures in the world. Yeah, maybe not 100% sure on that, but it seems that way. Yeah. You've got social links in it. You can see that in the trailer. You can see a shot of that, and it says it like a level up. If you pause it, you can see that. You've got the same, is it skills or something? You know how you had like courage and knowledge and those sort of skills.
Intuition.
That you would level up. Diligence, right? Like to sort of be able to do certain things. With your social links and stuff. There's a version of that in this as well that you can see in one of the shots. Yeah. You do seem to have in this game some sort of like character classes or job system type thing. because you see like in the menus, you see like there's like seeker and thief and knight and there's like a rank associated with that, and then later you see them having different ones for some of the same characters. One was like warlord and something. These seem like more advanced classes maybe later in the game because the levels were higher, the stats were higher. So that's interesting because there's nothing like that in the Persona game at all. So we're definitely getting that Persona style, but a completely new world and new, gameplay elements to it. It's not sort of just doing the same thing.
All right, Burley. So this is another one that you mentioned. So from the Ubisoft forward, Prince of Persia.
Yes, Prince of Persia. This one really surprised me because we got the initial reveal for like 2 seconds at the Summer Game Fest, and then Ubisoft forward, you got a good, I think it was like 10 minutes they spent on this.
Yeah,
and this is just a smaller game. It's your 2.5D Metroidvania, which I do love these kind of games, and just seems like this is going to be a lot of fun with using the all the different powers the prince is going to have. Yeah, and maneuvering and finding your ways across.
One of those jumping elements remind me of like the Ori games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then using the dagger and just changing the world.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, it is that Metroidvania style type game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more Ori than because there's more action to it. But jumping and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to have Death and Dracula in this somehow.
Yeah. It looks pretty though, for sure.
If you've ever played the original Prince of Persia game, that was a side-scrolling game. This is a much prettier, more advanced version of that, and you weren't acrobatic very much in that game, but it was side-scrolling and climbing stuff and avoiding traps and things.
Yeah. The color palettes in this too remind me of the Rayman games a little bit as well.
Isn't it the Rayman team doing this?
That I don't know.
I think I heard that.
They did such a good job with Origins and Rayman Legends. Those are both great games. So this looks good, and we're getting this in January of next year, which is
perfect timing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, something to really look forward to in January.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that. Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It looks great. And in the video where they from Ubisoft Forward, they talk about some story, and they said that you're actually going to save the prince. Like you're with this group of other people who look like all awesome fighters of different types.
Yeah. So the Ubisoft Forward was really good this year.
I didn't watch the showcase. People said like the presentation, the flow of it wasn't very good, but watching
the games. I mean, this and of course Assassin's Creed and all. And there were some surprises that I wasn't really, interested in, like the Division for mobile. I wasn't really into that, but still, I mean, and then they showed more of Pandora, with the Avatar game. But yeah, Burley, you were going to say?
I was going to say, for the Ubisoft event, this Assassin's Creed and one other game were really, really good. The rest of the Ubisoft event was just like, ugh.
And we're going to see that
worse than the PlayStation showcase.
Yeah. So for all of you video viewers, we're going to see that right now. So, So Star Wars Outlaws. It's called Outlaws. Yeah. So I don't know. Carl, you picked this one as one of yours that you wanted to talk about. So
this was revealed at the Xbox show, but they had the gameplay at Ubisoft Forward.
At Ubisoft Forward,
it looks excellent. I mean, it is that open world third person
Star Wars,
sort of cover shooter action adventure.
And I love this little creature here. That's gonna be cute.
Yeah, and in the game
Oh,
you can use this creature to do things, to help you do things. You can tell him to go, hit something, or hit a lever, or switch, or whatever. Actually, this is the gameplay one, so this is great.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. See these stealth elements here. So what time frame are we in here? This is before the Battle of Yavin, I think.
They said it's in between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay. So after
very
the battle,
specific. I don't know why that's where they specifically chose that time frame, but it's great. Once she gets out of this area and you hop on the vehicle and you just driving through all these places. I mean,
open world,
it looks great. But then she goes off planet, and I'm like, well, how many areas like that are there gonna be?
Yeah.
Right, because the area she zooms through is huge. So, I mean,
I'll tell you this much, Carl. I'll bet you some spiritual opium on this. It's not going to be as big as Starfield.
Well, I don't expect that.
So you're not taking that bet. Yeah. So,
but it's going to be bigger than I say. The Jedi Fallen Order games and the sequel.
Oh yeah, it'll be bigger than that, I think. But please. I mean, the thing I like about this is these are completely new characters. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
they're outlaws, right? They're not Jedi. They're not Sith. Please don't show me Inquisitors. Please don't show me Darth Vader or anything in this game. I like kind of the Rogue One aspects of this game, where it's like we didn't know, anything about these characters, and so I want to see, what becomes of them and how they grow within the game and stuff. And how they perform in this Star Wars universe. So,
hey, look, I wouldn't be against fighting like one Inquisitor as a boss. It would be cool, because it's interesting to go up against a Force user when you're not a Force user.
Yeah.
I get that, but for me, I'm kind of done with the Inquisitors because we've had them in everything.
Yeah, no, I agree. It doesn't have to be maybe not an Inquisitor, maybe I don't know.
Well, just let's not have any Force elements in this. I mean, just they're outlaws, and so they're probably smuggling and just have those elements to the game, and using your blasters and stuff and. Like here, escaping these
but I could see
cyclists.
Talking your way out of things and stuff like that.
I can envision a great action sequence of you going up against a Force user and sort of having these elements of like, I got to run away because I can't really fight them. And then maybe eventually you get cornered or something, or you have to utilize the environment to help you defeat them because you're not strong enough.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that. So I don't know. It doesn't have to be in it, but I think it'd be okay. To do something like that.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, I would not be surprised if there is something like that in this game because it is Star Wars, so we shall see. But the space battle elements to this should be really cool too. So, and I think we're going to see some of that coming up.
Yeah. I love the speeder thing that she's using here. I like the different when you see different vehicles like that, but they're that similar sort of like I don't know weird sort of different style to them, like the Force Awakens had different one too in it, that Rey rode in the beginning. She had that sort of big, had the big front end to it. I like those designs, definitely keeping to that sort of original trilogy design.
Yeah, especially on those type of worlds, the sand planets and things.
And this droid with his like trench coat, he just looks cool.
Yeah.
Why does he need a trench coat? Because he's badass.
Yeah, he thinks it's cool. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
What kind of droid is he? He almost looks like
K2SO. Kind of like a K2SO, but
I was gonna say he has sort of elements of like prequel trilogy sort of droid head design.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see those look like some of the bounty hunters there. Yeah. So.
You mentioned bounty hunters. Are we going to get Boba?
Yeah. There's a lot of bounty hunters out there to choose
Yeah.
from. You know, we
Yeah.
don't need Boba. Okay.
Don't need Boba Fett. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Let's see, IG-88, right? Why not?
yeah, IGA. Yeah.
Or Bosk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, we were talking about Ubisoft Forward and other things shown there. I mean,
Yeah.
if we can mention while this is running, there was the Avatar game which did not impress me.
Yeah.
I know some people seem impressed by it.
I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna do.
That Avatar game, I'm sorry, looked boring.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I was watching that, I'm like, it's just like the film to me. Just I don't care.
See, I like the films, but I don't. The gameplay of that game is very generic first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And then you have the riding the beasts and flying on the beasts, which when it goes into third person for that, and I think that looks great when you're doing that. But everything else, I was like, I don't know about this.
And I want to welcome Take in. He's in the chat as well. So thank you so much for coming on in.
I know people don't care about Skull and Bones, but they did put out a trailer that was like kind of like a music video, like a sea shanty music video.
Yeah.
And it's fun. You should watch it. It's a good video. It's a good trailer. You know, the visuals are nice that they show, but I don't know what that game's gonna be. Oh, this Wanted thing. Is it like sort of a GTA Wanted level type thing going on?
Right.
Well, 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 5 stars, you got like an Imperial cruiser on you. Yeah. So, good stuff. Yeah. And what's the time frame of this game again? I mean, I think it's supposed to be next year, right?
I don't know. Did they put a
2024.
date on it?
Just a release window, I think. It's like
They did,
2024 or something like that. So,
Yeah, I think they said 2024.
yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this does get to 2025.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this too. When you get in the ship and you fly out into space, and then you get into fights and stuff. Like, whoa, oh my god, okay, this is awesome. Like, you do all that, cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah,
man, this could be a huge hit for Ubisoft. They need something different, and this feels different than a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, this doesn't feel like this is Assassin's Creed skinned over with Star Wars skin, which I knew people were worried about that when they were in development, and it's nice to see that they're going a different element with Star Wars, which is nice. This isn't just we're Jedi, all this, and we're not necessarily fighting the Empire. You're just trying to survive. It seems.
Yeah.
Versus Avatar, which to me looks like Far Cry Pandora.
Oh,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to stop that here. So. Yeah. So. One last question before we get into Starfield. Besides the Xbox game showcase, which of these showcases did you think impressed you the most?
I mean, look, I liked the gameplay stuff I saw at Ubisoft Forward. I didn't watch the event, so I can't say that the event was good overall.
Okay.
But
yeah,
the stuff watching the trailers afterwards, and the gameplay, there was a lot of cool stuff to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Burley?
Ubisoft had probably the best gameplay, but if you go overall showcase, their showcase was bad. It was worse than Sony, and I didn't like the Sony one. If you want to make me pick overall showcase under Microsoft, I'd have to go Summer Game Fest.
Yeah,
and this was hard for me to pick.
Yeah. I mean, they had some.
Okay.
They had some interesting games, a lot of indie style games, like at the PC game show, the Tribeca event as well. So and we'll be seeing a lot of those in the near future. But I'd probably say Summer Game Fest, and then I think the Xbox Game Showcase was the event.
above and beyond.
Yeah, above and beyond. So
for me, like Summer Game Fest, I think it was fine. Like it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, but also just personally, there wasn't a lot of stuff that I came out of it. I was like, all right, I was hyped because I saw this game or that game, or like I want to play this and that. Like there wasn't a lot of that.
You weren't hyped for the Spider-Man 2 release date there?
Which I was more like confused. I'm like, why wasn't this at the Sony show? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it should have been at the Sony show. Like I was surprised when they did cut to it. Like, oh, they're going to talk about Ratchet and Clank on Steam. That was my thought. Because we're getting that next month. And I was like, no, we're actually here to show you Spider-Man and give you the release date. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. And it was also like, here's some concept art. I'm like, why are you showing us concept art? We just saw a huge chunk of gameplay.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to do that. And they're like, there's Venom. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I expected him to be in the game, but like, all you're going to show me is a one shot. And then you're going to be like, he's not Eddie Brock. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That doesn't excite me.
Well, for all of you video viewers, I have the image here of all the games that were shown at the Xbox Game Showcase. Of course, our photos are blocking out at the bottom here the Dungeons of Hinterberg and Jusant, which were a couple of other cool games that were shown. But
those two looked really cool.
Yeah.
You know, of course, Persona 3 Reload, like I'm really hyped for that next year.
Yeah.
Persona 5 Tactica this year.
Yeah.
South of Midnight has a really good tone piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Burley, you want to?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say tone and the art style for it looked incredible. I was like, whoa, okay. Didn't really show gameplay. I wanted to see that, but it's on my radar. And even though I didn't get into Sea of Thieves, you got the Monkey Island content. So people that love the Monkey Island games.
That I'm curious, like what you actually do in that. How does that play? I don't know. Yeah. I know is it just Sea of Thieves, but some weird extra thing on top of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
we do know South of Midnight is a third-person action adventure. To what level, I don't know, but we do know that. City Skyline looks great. I mean, if you like that thing, that of course should be really popular. Yep. Flight Simulator 2024 has so much more gamification to it, which is like, like that's cool because I don't want to play Flight Simulator because I'm not doing anything.
And the Dune aspect of it all, that's pretty cool too. Dune.
They showed more of that at the extended showcase, and it looks interesting.
Yeah.
And Towerborn, I actually am interested in because in the extended showcase they talked more about it, and they called it an action RPG. And I kind of was getting a little bit of the vibe of, I don't know if you know the game Guardian Heroes, which was originally on Sega Saturn. Mm-hmm. But it was a side-scrolling fantasy beat 'em up game. But there was RPG elements on it, like you could level up and you could like put your stats into different abilities as you leveled up to sort of build your character a little bit in a certain way. So like if it it gets that Castle Crashers sort of vibe to it as well. It's like if it is that, and there's an overworld sort of map, and you can do different things and level up and play with other people. Like I might be interested. I signed up for the Insider thing to try to. You can play it. You might be able to play an early build in that.
Oh, nice.
Cool. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start up the trailer for Starfield, of course. Starfield Direct, our topic of the show. Starfield, man. So topic of the show. So did Starfield meet your expectations? I have to say, I mean, this is probably the game that when it comes out, I probably, besides Spider-Man 2, it's the only game I'm probably going to be playing for the next 6 months. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just so fascinating to me. And like I was saying during the showcase when and the direct when we were doing this live, the reactions to it, I was saying this is the Star Trek game that I've never been able to have, because you're going to be able to travel, just infinite possibilities of traveling in space they said like there's over 1,000 different planets in this game. I mean, meeting different people from different civilizations and exploring the galaxy, doing trade, building your ships, there's just an infinite amount of possibilities from what we've seen so far, what we can do in this game. And it looks beautiful, and there's some people out there, obviously. And I think, Carl, you were talking about this when it came to Avowed. It's like, it's like the character, the facial animations are not great and things like that. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's like,
yeah. I mean, the amount of characters are going to be in this game and the amount of dialogue that's in this game.
Yeah.
You can't do full facial motion capture, right? So you have to do what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And that has to, they have to make the character models a certain way, like to make that feel good. Like, again, that's why I think people are having this weird problem with it. Because again, we're used to, I'm going to bring up Red Dead Redemption 2 again, Horizon and Last of Us, where they're doing this high end, and Hellblade's doing it too, this high end facial motion capture.
Yeah.
You getting everything, all the emotion from the eyes and all parts of the face, right? And
right.
You can when you get closer to more realistic looking visuals on a face, and you're not doing that, it stands out.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that. I mean, I was listening, a problem I had with Ghost of Tsushima, where they didn't do that. They didn't have the high end motion capture facial animation stuff during the dialogue.
Yeah.
And they even hit it a lot of ways in that game. And then it's probably a smart decision, because a lot of times when you were talking to certain people, it would sort of have that far out view. Burley, you probably maybe remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you're picking a flaw in a perfect game.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were hiding that, but smartly hiding it, because they knew it's not going to live up to what people are expecting, especially that year playing The Last of Us 2, which has some of the best facial animations in a video game ever. So
yeah. Just one thing I do want to comment on here, though, that could hurt this game in a small way. And our friend Jez Gordon, he on Windows Central, of course, he mentions this, is the localization. This game, obviously, you have thousands of different characters, thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of lines of dialogue. But the fact that this game is not localized in some of the major territories where Xbox is trying to get more of a market share could hurt this in a way. For example, like in Korea, in South Korea, it's not localized for South Korea. Which, of course, Microsoft is trying to, out here in Asia, trying to establish itself more and get a bigger market share. So I think localization is something that they probably could have done a little bit more to focus on for the game and have it available in different languages. I think it's only available in I think what Jez was saying was 8 or 9 languages.
Yeah.
Look, so yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm going to say, for a game of this scope, and it's fine for now. I don't think you can reasonably expect them to do that. There's just so much in this that needs to be done. I mean, localization of a game like this is incredibly long process. It's not easy to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not just text it's not just translating, the written dialogue or the spoken dialogue. It's also all the stuff in the menus, all the items that you're getting, all the systems, translating that in localizing that, and things that for all the different regions. There's a lot that has to go into that.
Yeah.
You can't just I mean, those things will come. I think they will do it, right?
Yeah.
Could they have done more? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much effort that takes, right?
Yeah.
Especially for this game. This game, more than any other game, I'm sure, would probably take longer than any other game out there, right, to localize in another language.
Yeah. But I think not only with Starfield, but I think that's been a situation with Xbox for many different games when it comes to localization as well. There were a lot of games that weren't localized into Japanese as well. So
yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you though. I mean the scope of this and the size of the game, and yeah, I'm sure they did the best they could with what they had with the resources they had to localize in the languages that they could. But and it probably will, in time be localized in different languages.
Yeah, I mean Japanese is one of them that they're doing.
Oh well, right. Japanese is localized in this game. So yeah.
It's like I'm sure you can attest to this, Expat, how difficult it would be to localize a game like this to Japanese.
Yeah, well, especially like nuances and like figures of speech, idiomatic expressions and things like that. Yeah, it would be. So. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get more to the other parts of the aspects of gameplay and everything else in this. I mean, just amazing.
Right there, we just saw when you go to a planet and they scan you, and in this particularly, it says no contraband found, but just the implication that like I could be, smuggling goods.
Yeah.
And I could get caught or whatnot. That's cool. I like that aspect. I can play it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. This exceeded my expectations. Going back to the initial topic title there.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to impress me, but man, it just went beyond that with just so many things that I wasn't expecting, even though I thought some of it, would be there. But
I think I just want to say I think the when they were thinking about doing this showcase, to make it separate, to have like another 30 minutes on the side to do a direct just for this game. I mean, because then they had
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, they had the time to show you all of this stuff. I mean, if this would have just been in the Xbox showcase, it would have been a 4-minute trailer. There
was a trailer in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Carl. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like
you can't explain all this, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
just so much. I mean, I didn't expect there to be, for example, you'd have a crew in your ship that you could hire and like you can maintain, and they have different, stats or traits that can have different aspects, like mean, things in the game, like have an impact on like what you can do,
Yeah, and you can assign crew members certain things, and you can go to a different planet and recruit. Well. Yeah, outposts. You could recruit people.
Make your own little bases and homes on other planets. Yeah. The scope of this is just insane. Like this, for my initial thoughts on this, like I was excited for Starfield, but this blew my mind with how in depth they're going, and it's really showing they took their time with all these delays, and that the delays, in my opinion, were worth it to get a game of this scope to be able to come out.
Yeah.
And what you can tell, they are putting a lot of effort and love in this. Like you've got the whole trait system they're putting in. You pick your traits; they have advantages and disadvantages, and you can take them and change them. So doing that, they brought back the adoring fan.
Yeah,
if you remember, I think it was in Oblivion. The one
Carl,
I remember.
Carl, I was gonna bring up there when they showed the cowboy guy there. And it's like, what was it? Someone I think it was on Twitter or something like that. They were comparing the cowboy guy there in the Starfield, scene there to like the Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Scope
yeah, exactly.
Game. I get it. Like some games are gonna look better visually. It's fine. Like whatever. Yeah. I want to play this more than I want to play Red Dead. So. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're trying to say, well, it's like the graphics and all the graphical fidelity. It's like Red Dead Redemption. The first Red Dead Redemption game was what 2010, I think, or something like that, or 2008 or something. So
somewhere
it's
around
like,
there.
come on, man. Yeah, it's Yeah, Burley, I want to ask you. I mean, when it comes to the streaming aspect of it all, I mean, could you see someone just having their entire streaming career playing this game?
Oh yeah, you could make an easy channel on this. Like I can, like when we're covering this, it's just like I could see so much stuff of myself just doing, and like in my case with Streamloots, the deck on this is going to be giant because there's just so much things you can do. This is going to be one of these games of like you're going to have so much. It's like I'm going to have to dial it back a little. Me like, okay, I'm only going to kind of focus in on this today, because if I do this, go down here and go over here, I'm probably going to be going down a rabbit hole for 7 hours and then swing back. So this is going to be interesting. Like, how much of the plot am I going to want to do right away? Am I going to go straight story, or is there going to be some side content early on that I really get involved with and just exploring and building up my ships?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine and wait for the mods to come.
Oh yeah.
With was it Bethesda Workbench? I think it's called.
Yeah.
Where you've got creators that'll make the mods and you can buy them or get them for free, and you're supporting creators and stuff. So like that is going to be insane.
What is it we were talking about during the live event about the modding? I mean, you're probably going to see like TIE fighters and like X-Wings and like, from all the different, shows and movies and all, they're going to mod certain things for this game. Yeah.
One of the things that's really improved from their previous games is animations.
Yeah.
So, the walking animations, the combat animations,
Yeah.
all of that. And especially when you look at the third person option or aspect view.
Yeah.
It looks night and day. Like, I know some people like to play Skyrim in third person, but I don't find that to be really effective because it looks so janky.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's designed to do that. Like it's just like added on. And this game, it really looks like they said they designed it to work in both first and third person and to look great in both.
Yeah, and just to look at this customization, I mean, people are going to be spending hours customizing characters and things like that. So,
yeah, you really get that sense of, and you always get that in these type of games, but that you can create a character that's going to be a specific, type of character that's going to play a very specific type of way.
Yeah,
and have that role, right? The role playing aspect, of course. Like, do I want to be a space pirate, right? Or do I want to be, someone who's trading goods or smuggling goods, or what kind of weapons am I going to use?
Well, I'm telling you right now, my ship is going to be called the Enterprise, and it's going to be NCC 1701H.
There you go.
Let me guess, your character's name is going to be Kirk?
No.
Oh, come on, if you're going to do all that, you got to go with naming your character.
It's going to be character. It's going to be Expat.
It's going to be
War. It's going to be Expat. It's going to be Expat. Captain
I do wonder if
Expat.
there's any alien races in that. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'm sure there is, but they knew with what they just showed off here was a lot to absorb.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're going to get a few more things before leading up to the release in September.
I'm okay if there isn't, but I feel like there could be at least some other humanoid civilization somewhere.
I just want to say, Pharaoh, welcome on in, and we're doing great. Thank you. We hope you're doing well as well. So, yeah,
I do like that serpent religion group. I think that's interesting. I want to explore that, see what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe even make a character who is one of them.
Yeah, just going to so many different, star systems and, running into all these different factions and, just exploring and analyzing the culture and, the people and, what they believe in and stuff like that. So. There's Burley's character right there, man. I was gonna say for all of you video viewers, that was good. Yeah,
I've already made him up my mind when I do play and stream this game, I got to make a stream loots card, kill the adoring fan.
Yeah.
Kid stuff. There you go.
All right. Good stuff. So
there was an interview where they talked about a moment where a ship can land, right? Like they showed in here, where if you have that like sort of trait where the people come hunting you, wanted, this one. And they said that you can get on that ship, and then he said the ship took off while they were on it, and then they were out in space. And I was like, wait a minute. What happens? Well, how do you then? I guess you have to take the ship over or something, because how you get out?
Well, that you either negotiate or just take over the ship.
Yeah.
But that's neat.
Well,
you can have
glad you're doing better, Pharaoh.
Right, you can have a lot of ships. We saw that in the menus. You can see you can have multiple ships. I mean, I love the fact that you can board ships, and see what's going on, kill people inside, take the ship, whatever. All that stuff is super awesome.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this game. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you don't even have to play the story missions. You can just explore and just walk around. I mean, do whatever you want. That's the great thing. Yeah.
It fulfills a fantasy that I've always had with like Wing Commander Privateer. But whenever I play like that game, it's like I want to be someone who can go out in space and explore the galaxy and trade goods and fight pirates or whatever the bad faction is. But also I would like to, with something that isn't in that type of game, is I would like to go down to the planet, right? And I would like to talk to people and have quests, stories, and fight people, and build my own outpost. Maybe I'm assuming you feel like you can have your own business, right? Essentially, mining specific resources and selling specific things.
Now, this is the aspect of the game I really love, talking about the weapons. And I mean, just like we were talking about, Carl, just the type of weapons that you can handle in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about the melee, right? You can have weapons. You could punch people, right? You could specialize in that. You can have, long range, short range, handguns, explosives, whatever. There's so many different options. You could play it stealthy. I personally do like playing a stealthy sort of handgun build, right? That's something that I would do.
Yeah.
Well, not only just that. You've got all those options, but something I like that it just showed earlier was the talent system. How you're getting your talents better is you actually use them. As you keep using them and going down those routes of those talents, you'll get better and better at it, which is something I like. And I love this here. Just throw a grenade in, close the door, and let them die. I love that.
But I do like that it's very specific. Sort of goals, I guess, to level them up, instead of like, you remember some of the other games, like, Oblivion was really bad on it. It's just like you're repeating, just like, I'm just going to keep casting a spell, or I'm just going to keep jumping. Skyrim has that too. But like, I'm just going to keep jumping and jumping and jumping, and I'll get my level up. Like, that's silly. Like I get that is using the skill, but that's not using it in a way that's meaningful. So it seems like they understood that, and they've advanced that here.
And you can, and they showed with one of the talents is you can confuse an enemy and have it fight for you, which is that is cool.
The aliens,
so
yeah,
or
the creatures rather.
The creatures,
So guys, I mean,
cool.
we're only a few months away from this game.
I wonder if you could
excited.
Bring them onto your ship and, I don't know, like bring them on a mission.
Keep them as pets on your ship.
Yeah, right. Like, can I bring one and have it be my thing that attacks enemies for me? Like,
so that way, if pirates board your ship, you unleash your rancor on them.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Who knows?
Yeah. So cool.
If it's not in the game, they'll mod that in the game.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be modded. Just what? How long? Now. I only have one negative, and it's not the thing we're going to talk later on, though, is that they're doing the whole thing of here's the different editions of the game. Pay us more money to get 5 days early.
Yeah.
This is a trend with modern gaming lately that I'm really getting tired of. Okay, you're willing to give us more money, so you're going to get the game 5 days early. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it really only exists for the most popular type games. Like, it doesn't really going to matter if the game isn't a highly anticipated game like this.
Yeah,
I get it.
And
there's a lot of
it's Starfield is the game, Pharaoh. Sorry.
yeah, there's a lot of reasons to do that for a game like this because, of course, influencers, right? YouTubers, they're going to pay, and they're going to be playing it, and people are going to see that, and they're going to be sharing it, and it's going to make people want to play it.
Yeah,
and that's marketing, right? It's smart. It's smart marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear? Kind of, off topic, but Callisto Protocol's DLC was announced, and it's going to be available 2 days early on PlayStation. So they get early access to it.
Yeah, but that
2
game
days.
sucks,
2 days later, it goes to all the other platforms, but they get it. They get it 2 days early. PlayStation does. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
They bought exclusive content for Hogwarts Legacy, so
Yeah.
Hey, DLC was announced for this stealthily it was on the side there. It said like Shattered something story expansion.
Yeah.
So there's an expansion for Starfield already in the works.
Yeah, which
you're already gonna spend 1,000 hours in this game.
You won't get to it for about a year and a half, but anyway.
Yeah. So. But another one thing I will say also that's good about the 5 day early thing is you can definitely expect reviews to be out early.
Oh yeah,
before the game comes out.
Oh yeah.
And I personally hate it when reviews aren't out before the game is out because I use that to inform my purchases.
Did you hear there was one person that put a review out already and it got taken down? I mean, it was just
on Metacritic.
Like a user review. How does that even like? Isn't it blocked?
How that even
you're not allowed to do that.
Well, it got on, but then they took it down like really quick.
I guess Metacritic fell asleep at that day.
Yeah,
they were just what? Someone posted a review on there. We got to do something.
That's cool, like a transformer type of
Voltron.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Shows you the depths of things that you can do with the creation there.
Yeah. So. Yep, this game is going to be amazing. So we're looking forward to it. So yes, Starfield, and it definitely met our expectations. And let us know in the comments what you thought of what you saw at the Starfield Direct, and what are you looking forward to in the game the most. So let us know in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you. So yeah, good stuff. So now it's time to move on and talk about new game releases for the week of June 19th through the 25th, and our picks of the week. So Burley, you are up first.
My pick of the week should be no surprise to anyone. Final Fantasy 16 introduces gamers to an all-new standalone story in the Final Fantasy universe, an epic dark fantasy world that takes place in the realm of Bestilia. I know I butchered that. Land blessed in the light of the mother crystals, and where peace falters as the spread of the blight threatens to destroy their dominions. Fate of the land is decided by the icons, a powerful and deadly creatures. Their dominance, men and women who have been blessed with the ability to call upon and wield them. This is the tale of Clive.
They're iconic.
Yes, they are. Some of them have been there since the 80s for this series. This tale of Clive Rosefield is a warrior granted the title First Shield of Rosaria and sworn to protect his younger brother Joshua, the dominant of Phoenix, icon of fire. For long, Clive will be caught up in a great tragedy and swear revenge on the dark icon Ifrit, a mysterious entity that brings calamity in its wake. Only on PS5. coming
Only.
Thursday, June 22nd. I love releases has it saying it's coming to the Series X. It's like, yeah, no, this isn't. PC, it's going to come to later, but like I played this demo, I loved it, and it's nice to see Final Fantasy go back to fantasy route. So, because we haven't had that, and I don't know what was, I think 9 was the last one that had traditional fantasy.
Yeah,
in the series, so it's nice to see that.
Yeah.
Go 12.
saying-
12 was fantasy, right?
No, 12 was fantasy. 12 was pretty much Star Wars, though.
Star Wars.
Replay 12, or watch a video.
Well, I didn't get that far in 12.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
Well, some people are already touting this as one of the greatest RPGs. We shall see.
I see Pharaoh saying it looks good, but it's the first I've heard of it. Is he talking about Starfield?
He's referring to Starfield. Yes, I think.
probably.
Yeah, Pharaoh, please.
Pharaoh's more
let us
PlayStation
know. Yeah,
based.
yeah. Let us
Wow,
know
he's never heard of
if
Starfield. All right.
if you were commenting about Starfield or not.
But I've got this the day this comes out. I've got the day off, picking up my copy with my Steelbook and streaming this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me tell you about a game that I won't be streaming, or actually, it's still on Final Fantasy here. So my pick of the week here. My pick of the week here is Aliens: Dark Descent. In Aliens: Dark Descent, command a squad of hardened colonial marines. Colonial marines, oh no. To stop a terrifying xenomorph outbreak on Moon Lethe. Lead your soldiers in real-time combat against iconic xenomorphs, rogue operatives from the insatiable Wayland Yutani Corporation, and a host of horrifying creatures new to the Alien franchise. So the anticipated game Aliens: Dark Descent, upcoming PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X release date in the US and the UK. It's on Tuesday, June 20th. So, yeah, and this is also in up on the YouTube channel for the Arena Productions. So new game releases. So you can go and check that one out. But yeah, another Aliens game, guys. Yeah,
it looks pretty cool. I kind of wish it was like turn-based, like XCOM, like.
Yeah.
It's always got to be that dang Wayland Corporation.
Yeah, right.
Of course. Yeah.
When will they're never going to learn. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of The Ascent in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, looks interesting. I when it comes to Alien games, I think the one that I want the most is Alien Isolation 2. Because I really loved Alien Isolation. That was a great game. So, yeah.
This from watching it, because I've seen this trailer itself. This seems like this would be way better on a computer with mouse and keyboard than with a controller.
Yeah.
Good luck to anyone playing it on a controller.
Yeah. It does look cool. It does look like it could be fun. It's not super fast paced, so I like that.
Yeah.
It looks like you'd be very strategic. There's a lot of planning and stuff they're doing here, which is cool.
Yeah. All right. Carl, you're up next. What do you have for us?
I chose the Bookwalker, Thief of Tales.
Yeah.
On June 22nd for PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. Stripped of his ability to write, Etienne Quist, once a successful author, finds his life taking an unexpected turn when a cunning criminal mastermind offers him a chance to regain his lost freedom. Locate and steal legendary items from literary masterpieces. Immerse yourself in extraordinary book worlds, each with its own distinct rules and challenges. When confronted with adversaries blocking your path, gather your remaining strength and eliminate your foes in strategic turn-based combat. Mind you, I haven't actually seen this turn-based combat in these these
I was gonna
trailers.
say this doesn't look very turn-based so
And
far.
Yeah.
this is coming to Game Pass, right, Carl?
Yeah, so okay, I will say when I
Of
picked
course,
this,
now
I
that
did not
makes sense why he picks it.
No, I did not know that when I picked this. Okay? The day of the extended showcase, there was a like 10-game trailer they put out, indies, and this was on it, which is a pleasant surprise. There's a bunch of good stuff on that list. This looks interesting. So,
yeah. All right, good stuff. All right. Steam playtest. There you go, Burley. You play it on
that was
Steam
an
Deck.
old trailer.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a
Ooh.
cool trailer. That had a lot of
I
interest.
got to see if I can get a test copy and try this on the deck.
Yeah. There you go, man. There you go. All right. So it's time to get into Game Pass. So Game Pass titles that are coming out in June, and some of the announcements that came, of course, during the showcases for games that are coming to Game Pass. So Carl, go ahead, take it away, man.
I mean, I didn't prepare anything because we didn't have a new Game Pass drop.
Okay, so let me show you guys. Here is the image for everything coming to Game Pass. So, Carl, maybe you can go ahead and talk about some of these games. So, these were showed at the Xbox Game Showcase, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any of this is soon. I guess City Skylines and Persona 5 Tactica, Payday 3 are all this year, I believe. And of course, Forza Motorsport, Starfield.
Yeah.
I don't know 33 Immortals or Jusant or...
Well, Payday 3 is coming soon, I think.
Yeah. So like,
yeah.
we got some stuff.
Next month.
Yeah.
We'll come back next week because... Or actually, I won't be here next week. But next Tuesday on the 20th,
we'll do it, yeah.
I'm assuming the 20th will have a drop because that Bookwalker game is the 22nd, and that's going to be on there. So we'll see a drop for Game Pass.
You mean Fable's not coming out next week?
Unfortunately, not, Burley. That would be that'd be quite the shocker. I'd be happy, but no.
Yeah.
I think we all would.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so it's time to talk about the games that we're going to be playing this upcoming week. I'm still playing Diablo 4. Burley, how about you?
I'll be playing Diablo 4 on my own time, but I'm going to try and do a little bit more Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to try and finish the second temple, maybe get to the third before Final Fantasy 16 comes out. And when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, that's my main game I'm going to be doing for a while.
Okay. Carl?
I've been bouncing around, not really sure what I'm playing. So I've actually been playing some State of Decay 2. I just felt
you
like
went back
playing
to
that.
it.
Yeah, I just felt I don't know because I didn't know what to play, and I was like, yeah, that'll be fun, and then I played for like a couple hours. So you get lost in that game. Well, at least I do.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's coming or what I'm gonna choose to play. I reinstalled Valkyria Chronicles 4 because I never finished that, and I thought maybe I'd go back to it. But I didn't boot that up, so who knows what I'll play.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the platforms, I mean, PlayStation 5 still, Jedi Survivor, still haven't finished that. Love to finish it at some point. On the Switch, of course, Tears of the Kingdom, and then on Xbox, Diablo 4. So
I'm just so excited for like things in the future. Like I want to play those, and I don't want to play anything.
We always are. Yeah.
I want to play Starfield. I want to play Persona 5 Tactica. I want to play Persona 3 Reloaded. I want to play, Metaphor, ReFantasia, and like I can't think of anything else that I really want to play.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking September to October, November for me, content creation wise, it's gonna be nuts. I got Starfield coming. Like I want to do Assassin's Creed Mirage, Alan Wake 2, but we've got Spider-Man 2 is right there, and it's like Spider-Man 2 takes priority over those. And it's like then I got the Pokemon DLC in November that'll eventually come. So it's like,
what takes priority over here on the Arena Productions, Burley and Carl.
What?
Yes, of course all of our other entertainment and pop culture related content. So it's time for our content updates. So obviously, this coming week, of course, Marvel Secret Invasion starts. We're going to be doing our of course, reviews of that. And of course, we've already got episode 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, season 2, episode 1, The Broken Circle, where you can go, if you watch the episode, you can go and check out our review and discussion of that as well. So yeah, so for programming notes, we've got Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and we've got Secret Invasion starting this coming week. So exciting times with all these new shows coming out. And of course, on June 29th, The Witcher Season 3 starts, and we're going to be doing reviews of that as well. So stay tuned for all of the content that we have here, not only video games, but also entertainment and pop culture related content here on the Arena Productions. So yes. And of course, our ad-free versions will be going up to our Patreon as well, and as well as other exclusive content there. So yeah, good stuff.
Oh yeah, Sea of Stars, August 29th, Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was announced, and I was like, all right, well, I'll definitely play that. And it's good timing. It'll be before Starfield, although not too much before. So
you have no choice. You have to play that game.
I got to hit it running day one. Power through it.
Yeah. Yeah, they had an ID at Xbox trailer that showed a lot of the games that are going to be coming. So
yeah, there's a couple. Neon White was on there also.
Yeah,
which was a very highly rated game. Coming to Game Pass now.
Yep. All right, so it's time before we end the show here to talk about our indie recording artist spotlight. So of course, at the end of our shows, we do a music compilation. So with an indie recording artist. So this week's spotlight is on Francesco D'Andrea. Francesco D'Andrea is an Italian film composer and music producer. His music has been featured in many award-winning films, TV shows, video games, and worldwide advertising campaigns. So go on here. D'Andrea scored the original soundtrack of the full feature film Spaghetti Story, wrote classical music for the Atlanta Youth Orchestra, and has toured the UK as a rock and blues guitarist. From the title song of his album called The World Is Mine. So this has been the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 136. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley, Burleman Gaming, and Turn-Based Carl. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone, and enjoy the outro. Peace out.
Hi, everyone.